Welcome back. I hope you had a good lunch. So we're going to today continue our process of discovering about forces. I want to make one comment. Humans are curious people. And humans have been doing experiments and investigating the world around them for thousands and thousands of years. Nomads in Tibet have discovered many incredible things about the nature around them. So I think this process of inquiry, of investigation, is really a human process. It does not belong just to science or one or two traditions of the world. It's really a human thing. So I think when we investigate forces, when we investigate the world around us, we are really doing something that your ancestors have done, and this is sort of carrying on the tradition of our ancestors. So I maybe your ancestors didn't use rubber bands and meter sticks. But this process of asking questions and this practice of asking questions and doing experiments, I think, is really a deeply a human process. So long time ago, before lunch, we did an experiment where we had 2 force meters attached to a 3rd force meter. So what did you guys discover? How much did these 2 rubber bands move compared to this rubber band? So what did you guys discover? So the strength of 2 rulers is twice stronger than 1 ruler. The strength of these 2 rulers was, you said, twice as strong as this ruler. So you used the word strong. Yeah. Okay. What did any other groups notice? Yeah. Okay. What did other groups notice? You know, what you notice is also just what did you see with your eyes. You don't actually, some of you wrote down numbers that you measured, which is good, but also what did you just notice with your eyes? How much did this rubber band move compared to these 2 rubber bands?
Chik chawadela shuk phajo thing dos. So these two rulers pulls the third one.
Okay, yeah. Yes?
Thikshin chik chijo di ma shuk che thing do soi begala. Ra. So he is saying the single ruler has more strength as compared to the two rulers when being pulled.
Can you say what do you mean by strength?
The kyanzo shuk leader shuk lana kharil khande chil yulas.
Because you use this word and also the group back there use this word.
Ta di chik digi shuk che thing do kya kela kharan zo ni digi shuk che thing do lara shuk lana khande chil khodyong khande ro jil ngi yosako. Shuk. Now he's saying force.
Now he's using the word force. I mean, strength is a word we use sort of commonly to talk about force, how strong something is or someone is.
Strength lady. Di any chidam peju che di cha de strong lana shuk lady.
So I mean it's
thanda di
제가 니자마데 직자마데 수 럼부 탱크기 말이에요. 직자마데 니자마데 수 탱크기 말이에요. 니자마데 도로 식체 있는 거는
ni cheo di shuk che de lagre. So it has more strength. Two rulers. Now he has changed his answer.
the two rulers have more strength compared to the single ruler. Okay? Anybody over here? What did you guys notice? Or here first, and then we'll go here.
Tanda gela kiran sogi shuk suye jura. So he's talking about the speed, like the two rulers pulls it more faster as compared to one ruler.
When you let go?
Yeah, when he pulls it, yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting observation. When you do extension and then you let it go, the speed of the extension, sure. The speed or the recontraction, yeah. What about over here?
So he said this side of the ruler, right, two sides, these elastic like rubber bands are like shorter, and the one which is on the other side has a longer rubber band, so the force is same, equal.
So that's interesting. I just want to be clear I understand what you're saying. You're saying that these two forces equal this force?
Yes, both the forces are equal. You can see it by looking at the elastic rubber bands.
I want to ask a question, and I just want to ask a question not about strength, not about forces, just about how much does the length of the rubber band change? So when
Chik che the ring do this. So when you pull it, the longer rubber band extends more.
Extends more than the two other rubber bands.
That korani duro ena ring adi thandu ma narga dos lin shira shibadnil duro ena.
How much more?
The manga dulara, manga thing dulara, khabas ki manga thing dos na. Hajo di
diga ram se deta diga ram se mu daga mara ti mera sa ksu dikta samu dela tanka stik jazana tanka stik jazana ksu samu jeto daga mara jeto daga mara jeto mera samu ksu ka ksu jeto thwa diga chata wala de tanki jazana ku de ramu chora di diga jeto to diga jeto di march ke jinji khadi khchiya ke jisam res ibe de da area khode khotela chama res
I want you to keep thinking about how does the distance, how the length of this rubber band changes versus the length of this rubber band changes.
aleta kiran zo samlo ta inda sa thanda di gita thengi yo thendu ko le gyo jodan jera di gyo jodu ko la phajo di gyo khas tu du la jera pha phinji dure jera di kiran zo samlo ta wo chis gyo jodan di chik de chha ringa do chik chha di khagas to na di chha di du du
Okay. So what did he write up there?
the gurto resha
네. 단단히 타바데 samgade dire tingra. Dire tingon디 sambal라. 데 있는 단들 수주래고도. 코인의 수중에 맞차샤. 이거 수중에 맞차자. 타바렌도 기켜보요라니. 이는 이 수중에 맞차샤나. 네 가서 태우도 쓰는 남기는 네 수중 태우고 순실리 테마 한국 주 테마 태우고 돌아요. 도도지나 그렇게라. 다 용주 디 파라 디 파까지 템포인 펠 디지 디베 좁은 좁 2000 템포치 디베 2000 템포치 파라 쳐로베 디베 2000 템포 술 따가로 디 테마 요한치 디모 송송마도 되고 말이네 क्या हुआ
okay so the difference is half of what it's been stretched so when he extends when he pulled this by 6 centimeter
So-
this rubber band stretches by 3 centimeter
Did anybody else notice something like that?
the thanda di ya thindu centimeter thuk the oina phajo di centimeter sum narga duslan shesa di mayim bayan kiran su ya toship shemba chung suesa ruga di mayim ba
So, let me see if I understood this correctly. Let's call this rubber band 1, this 2, and this 3.
that pesh chashar sumsra di gita sumera gita sumla angita mingche shawos di gita thangbo chikche ni che sumlan mingta shawos
You said that the rubber band number 1 stretched out 60.6 centimeters. The length was not 60.6, but it is how much the length changed was 60.6. Is that correct?
kela kerang gita thangbo di thenro di thendu gala centimeter thukju chek thuk them baina sumra di la du thukju chek thuk di gita pura chasang ringdung di shigi maras khagas na me gyuro rojo jora undi chibu shigi ras yes
That's hard to make happen.
So, and then one of the other two stretched by 21.8.
niga chikpare niga la maregela di nistajik da chek ge sume juda gita niga chikparo as ringdung tharan dugora yes both the rubber bands was stretched by 21.8
Okay. Could we see? Do you have your equipment? Can we double check that?
the gala kare so tukjusek tuktak theilara di gelagaran chik tunda sa campaign.
We can ask everybody to do this again.
Yeah.
Gelagaran teachings da di chik tunda.
Actually, this is something that maybe everyone can do.
Ta di daje di Quran zu chiku mare lasta kiran zu changmai ni daje chetuye ji yoresti.
Find out how much the length of this rubber band changed.
Ani kiran zu itanda daje di chegu di chegu kapsu kharita or lawa no gigda di duwa khanju du chira di tares.
How much this rubber band changed and how much this rubber band changed.
Yana shi gigda thambu di yo du ra di na shi niwa da sumba la yo khande du di ta bu res.
So quickly, just take a few minutes to do this experiment.
Ta di daje sto yo khande du la jora gigda sumdi di kiran zu kama khashe jitigi di na jogo dang ro chesra. Tiro ches khari me.
Remember, you're measuring how much the length changed.
The kiranzu samlo nanchi khari shagu urlana kyo dre jura di khagas kyo dro shala jura gida di taris.
Where was it before? 9?
I would like to ask you one question.
Kiransula tiwa jik tangde dos.
I would like you to try to hang some masses, some weights,
khari nang gors na kiransu thanda gigda jiya digala ni ngobo khande jina jigo yo ngobo ji ya chang shaw nas
from each one of the 3 force meters.
nang zu ye jelche sum soyo del gigda sum yora ti sum jala ni chang jigo yo ngobo sum chang sharo chis
Separately.
loga sum ja.
If the rubber bands are the same, if the 3 rubber bands are the same, what do we expect the stretch to be of the 3 rubber bands?
Ta kisi gigda sum ja chik par la wa ina ra ngaran chu ta gigda sum chala sum chang ra chang du gal an nganju le den do 100 doji ra grace link 100 doji ra grace la khande ra gre la kisi chik par la wa ina ra.
Go ahead and try this.
Ndi khande ra ge me su su thanda chegu dinang ro chesa chala mo jigo yo chi chang gigda sum de.
Some string, but that much.
So he's asking, he has a question. He said, like you said, hang 3 objects, right? Those 3 objects should have same weight or
Yes.
not.
So the same
object.
one and then the other one and then the other one.
Ale ta ngobo chik ne chara. Kela kiran jo ngobo chik ne thangbo gigda thangbo dilta ra jigo thanda mathe jora shu khaga sune dita thana shi nibo dilata sumba dilta taro ches gigda sumjal taji shiru ches. Ngobo thagarangi gigda sumla.
Be sure that you hang the weights from the end of the string, not from the rubber band.
Kiran so chik yan thanda taji chila dugala gigda rang la magaro ches sangobo di jigo yo jora di thanda gigda la dam she ju thand kuba jua kuba la changro ches ngobo di.
Have you finished your measurements?
정말 근데 책에 차수에 gelai chi kanji shudo 차수에 정말 yes there.
So I see that there is some difference of results.
ता थंदा ताजे छिदु गला थांदो मंगबुश दियोरा दिनाल dumdre ta na dumdre nal khebar thongu dos khirazu nanglola.
So in this situation, when scientists collect data and they cannot agree,
Tad nedang dende ro chadu gala tad changdo mangbuch ligo ra manda di ani chere ba denzu galta muthu mayong ro chagi res di nedang dende chadu
what do?
Quran zo khare nang gi res dende gapso So the majority, like which are similar, they took these data. They take these data.
So one idea is that we get the what the majority of the people found.
Dila dita mang cheogi kharinye yume thangdo jora dilingi uras. Yes.
Is it possible that the correct experiment, the precise experiment, was made by the minority?
Tende yongsi royalasta. Tanda takche chidugal takche takta chijo jora da len takta thobe di ta tanda mangani dugura nyungal hangma dinal len takta yujo yongsi royas. Yes, it is possible.
So then trusting the majority does not always work.
Ende ladugola khadu na manga chol tay jora di khadu na lega chingma rasta ba takda dungma roasti.
As a matter of fact, a lot of discoveries have been made when individual or groups of scientists has found something that other people overlooked.
Dila duta mangche sarnye chungye jora di kharir lawaina mi mangche pecho gi ma ta nangme tang shagyo ro lawra da mata ni sha shagyo den zo Quran chu gi da cheriba roga chunju ji gi nye shagyo den de chagyo res sarnye chungyo den zo.
So in the science world, people present their results to each other in science conferences.
Dila du cheri gi chojin de choy ka so an cheri ba Quran chu penju nang lo la dumde khari thwe me jora penju shere chi yo res tilos.
And each group tries to find ways to improve the experiment of the other group.
Dila du gola ni ruka shemba chi gi ta tamshe chi ra ma khari dumde khari ra me di taje dir yarge tang bu me ani ruka shimba den ju gi ni thapshe chi ni ma yarge ta thapshe chi yo res den de gapso.
Until the scientific community agrees.
Dendra du da Quran ju thapshe chi ta changme gi mo thyo yong jura dende ne dan lele ba do changme nyam du lega chi yo res.
For instance, I asked you to measure and see if the same weight hung by each of the strings separately would give you the same result.
Tangwe ni kuba gala ta la ni khiran su she sa changdo di ji se yong obu di gita sum la ya chang la du gala ni khiran zul ta ji she te insta ringdu thanda gita sum cha chik ba re du re min du la du gala ngobu thagarang gi gita sum la ta ji chira di che res khiran zum ni.
Did you find that all your measurements were the same?
Khiran zu thanda ta ji che chego di che gap su khiran zu gi di nye su es thanda gita ma the jera na re di chikbo chikyang re du es sumja. No, not the same.
No, they were not the same.
Chikbo re min do as sumja.
And so this gives us an idea about how we could improve our results.
Di ladu gala ani thanda sangma chikbo mewe kap so ani ngaran so le samju saw ji khari ni gor law ena thanda dumde di ta ngonzo yargi khade tang gu du la jora di samlo di ni res.
We get rubber bands that are as similar as possible.
Di ladu gala thanda gita kheba yo ha go sa ta je di duni di ladu ngaran so ta je yarge ta khari che re jesu gita chikbo chikyan yo ya khaga sungu yo la de le thapshi chu res.
And we get string that itself does not behave like a rubber band, does not stretch.
Thana shi kuba khande ji dam gu yor la na kuba nare myo che nyebu shira myo che gi do ni na tharang gi yan kheba dura kuba nye me jo den de dam gu res.
So when we do these measurements again very carefully,
Ta thana ngu che ji je ra di che je di yang gyo je la sap sap chini chik che wa inas.
we find that with identical rubber bands,
Ta ngu khari ni gir la wa na ta gig thanda giga chigo chikya imba inas ni
and with strings that do not stretch,
thana shukuba theme o kuba jura tinde yo inas
the change in length of this, of the
digi
first one,
thanda thangbo jura digi ringdung gyo dre juras
is equal to the change in length of this plus the change in length of that.
digi ringdung gyo jura di kharida chikba chayurla na thanda niba da sumba jura dini gi kyondom di chikba chayurlas
So, you have all, though, in your measurements, you showed that this stretch was bigger than this one, and this stretch was bigger than that one.
ta thanda keranzo chego su tsejero tsejedu kharis keranzo e kharinye lawaina di thanda nare jura ma the di da di durwaina nibo di nyumdo nibo da thangbo durwaina thangbo di che thangna shi sumbo da thangbo durwaina ya thangbo di che di keranzo nye soas
Did everybody find that?
samai thangna nye soesa thanda shi ana shi
Okay. So then what can I say about the force that this string exerts on the paperclip compared to the force that this string exerts on the paperclip?
ta keranzo shugal ke je shewaina ra di gita di thanda ki shogu jinje juya tigal shu khagas kya me da thana she di gita di shogu jinje ki lchi gya tila shu khagas kya me digal khadi shizu khari she yus shugal ke je shewaina shu khagas kya le jura
달라기 방법이와 방법이 시기 그거기 저기 움직이다 그거되니까 어떤 데니 뭐가 렌더닝 수준 뭐가 있나 저번 방법이 니번이 동전 시기에 우리 나스디 체지와라 나스디 체지 지어있는 직접 직접 그때 직접 현실이 직접 동문이데 다 나시지구나 나시기 움직이 나시기 레프트선이 있지
언니오시도 하고 뒤를 얘기하고 싶은 거리
걔가 동문이 비디오에는 계시
얘는 그거 생각 치고 이 동문이를
네
제제 대화하라
제시다 얘는 센티미터 보는 게 코시 나시죠 그래서 쉽게 동문이 쉽게 비문을 쉽게 뭐 아니야 그 나치 체험이 로이한테 동분이변이 지식 체험이 같은 거.
말에 네 당분이가 숨바시도 하더라. 네 당분이 거의 당분이 다라래. 지기 유저들에. 말아. 네 당분. 네 당분을 하는데.
네 선배지.
뭔데? 다 컨트롤 슈크디.
식된디 건데 식치사.
네 슈크체도.
데니기 식된 딜리치 체체는 가르신 듣고 런치 나르치기 런치 차다가 직접 그들고 생님들 찍어 담보도 식치.
네 슈크체도 스피니 추마도스라. So the force, it has more force. First one as compared to the second and third one.
So this one is exerting more force on the paperclip than 3.
The Gelakira Shao Nangshi, the Chashawainas, Tambujura, Digi Shuk Manga gave those Sumba the Duwainas, Diwas. Dira Tambo di Shuk Manga gave those ra, Tambo the Sumba Duwaina, Tambo di Manga gave those ra. Yes.
And that force of 1 on the paperclip is more than the force of 2 on the paperclip.
Tanashi ya Shuk Gajura, Tambo di Gitanda di Zinjedigal, Shobu Zinjedigal Shuk Gadi, Taniba di Duwaina, Tambo di Shuk Manga gave Dushi was.
If I think about the two forces here together, how do you think that their combined action compares to the force of 1?
Ta dini shuk niwa da sumba shuk yora, kura niga nyamdo domba inas, 다 동게 슈지라라 디다 아니 탄다 당보 딜도로에나 한데스레스 equal force
Equal forces.
그 니빠도 선배니요라 니빠도 선배니 시기 동물이 시체 가르치는 그 동물들 파피자는 파군이 인식지에는 동물이 쇼 날비가 그 군이 날치 토너지라 지금 그 동물이 쇼 날비가 동물이 시체예요 그 지역에는 그 동물이 내가 말아
So he's saying number one, the rubber band at the number one has more strength because it is stretching more. So we can say that.
Yes, number one stretches more, so it pulls harder than number two.
The Kora Manga Nargura, the Manga Nardugala, and the Ladu Shuk Manga Tingiruas, the Manga Tingiruas.
아무데 단도 수들어와 니가 성분은 양도 인정 제가 슈글라도 니가도 떨어지고 니가도 떨어지고 본인 양도 도인 성분이었다 나머지는 기타도 말을 늘나 인정 니가 성분이 죽지야
Okay, since there like what he's saying is like this first rubber band stretches more because of the force exerted by second and third. So we can say that second and third has more force as compared to the first one. Because of more force, the first one is stretching more.
So the first one is stretching more than two, and it is stretching more than three. Do we agree?
당보다 니와 들어오나 당보디 망아 나래지 대한에 당보다 숨바 들어오나 당보 망아 나래지 니 정말 메두 요아스.
The question that I'm asking is, together these two pull on the rubber band with a force that is bigger than one, equal to one, or less than one, together.
다 단다 티와 카레르나 니와 더 숨바 니가 domni shukji geura digala 디 단다 쇼고 진체 주야 니가 게 니가 domni shuk지라 디다 당보디 shuk지라 니니 들어와나 간디 체레스. Most of them are saying equal forces, but some of them are saying second and third are more force. The combined force is greater.
Wonderful. So some of us saying chikpare, some of us say chikpamare.
Hashi chikpare sumudo, hashi chikpamare sumudo.
Let me ask you to go back to an earlier experiment that you did.
The big mola ya chego tajina imba digal maranje tie das.
So in this experiment, I stretch number one in exactly the same way as I stretched number one here.
Tatanda nare the jora gita dina chasha oina ngoina gita thambu di thenjo nashi dela tanda gita thambu sto the res chikya.
How does the force that 4 exerts on the paperclip compare to the force that 1 exerts on the paperclip?
Ta thanda dina chasha oina ni mashmindo ta digi shukji gyagra dela shogo jinje diga dida ya thambu digi shukji gyagra gita Dini duro ina khandis kheba khari yores. The same forces. Equal force.
Does the force meter number 1 know if it is connected to 2 and 3 together or if it is connected to 4 by itself?
Ta thanda jelchi juya thangbo di cha shaina thangbo di korang sula tu me di hak khari la tu me di hak urwes korangi niwa da sumba ni domni nyamdu tu sha yana shiba de chibu nyamdu tu sha di korangi hak urwes kita thangbo di
Does not know. So then 4 must behave in the same way as 2 and 3 together.
Diladu shigi da shijuro laura khari tungyo di kejo chibu chigya ni da sumdi tungyo ras.
So then 2 and 3 together, chikpa pre or chikpa mare with number 1.
Ta ni da sum ni ba da sumba di dongura digi shuk di da thangbo shuk ge jora da ke shobu jin chikal chikpa re chikpa mare sa ka still the same.
So most of us say yes, but we have someone who disagrees, and we have to hear his idea.
The mangcheo gi chikpa re sungu do a koran cha sha ne chikpa mare sungu do san koran gi samju khari me dida ma she
기본 미 제가 단단 가서 체인지라 단단 가서 체인지에 아니 기마데 센티미터 맞다 밀리미터 통템들 아니 타마티닝 달려라 하스는 때문에 규제가 요 아니 요아데 가세로는 규제가 차 순저다 규제가 차진 요아로 하셔서 대부분 드니츠 도비나 아니 기마지도 좀 기마지다 아니 같이 차 도용 대부 성다 아니 요아 치료용 성다 쇼에 치료해서
he's talking according to his data what he has reported. So he said the first one when it's pulled by tukju da tek tura 60.6 centimeter Napchu 50.6 centimeter. The second and the third was pulled by Khajure Chikdi. Nibadi Khajure 11.3 and 11.1. So when you combine these two data, it doesn't equal to it's not equal to the first one.
So what I want you to notice is a wonderful scientific practice here.
Ta thanda khari tunang chungu dulaw na khiran chugi thanda cheri na la jongdar chidang jora nyamlen chidang ta practice chidang di yabuch khiran zunang shas.
Our fellow scientist said what the rest of you have agreed disagrees with my data.
Ta ngaran chu nanglo ni cheri bachi gi sung so sta khiran chu i thangdo da mandawa chi dus la nya gas bi medu mindo a khiran chu nyamdo medu chi medu skrangi.
Therefore, either you are incorrect or there is a different interpretation to my data.
Diladu khiran chu no thangdo di no re si res yana ngaran chu gi da thangdo lendu balatis chi mandawa do jora lenda kende yong si res.
So that was actually very good.
Ta khiran chu nai di yabu shu nang shas.
So we have this idea that we all agree. Do you agree that 4 pulls as much as 1 pulls here?
Ta di nedang niwa ji do gi thangbo da shuwa gi ten ji do di ten di shu di chipa yores thangbo di gi shobu jinje di ga tingi yo shu ge yo thang shi di shuwa di ge yo ra shu chipa re lo ga res thangbo da shuwa di niwa dil ta wa yeah, equal forces.
So then, if I were to think of these together, they must behave like a 4.
Ta samlo dindesh ta oinas dini ga nyam do dom bainas ani konjo gi kejo khande do shtumur lana shiva dinang shitungur was.
Because they do the same thing to number 1.
Kais na konjo gi chedang jora danda di gi tanda shugen shtegi yora di chikbo chigen shiwa di thangbo del shugen tigi yoras chedang chikbo chigen tigi yoras.
The reason why the data disagree
Ta kyan chu gi gyunje shiwa inas ta medu me la jora.
is because unfortunately this string also stretches a little bit.
내지 모두 메주 가진 차르라와이나 캬주 쿠바지라 쿠바데티스 나르레스.
So we are not comparing the rubber bands by themselves, but the combined action of the rubber bands and the stretchy string.
근데 계란소이 정도라야 되지 가리기래라와이나 기타테 나래저라 디지부 마이버체 기타다 쿠바데티스 나르라 디니가 가지레스.
So if we did the same experiment with a string that would not stretch, we would find that if the stretched here was 20 centimeters, this would be 10 and 10. But that was a wonderful, absolutely wonderful argument. Good. So another way to think about this is to take number 1 and hang a single object or hang 2 smaller objects and so we know that in a combined way these two would be the same as the bigger object. If the stretch is the same. So we are going to stop here, but we want you to take a couple of minutes and write down your thoughts on the following question. What did I learn today about forces? And what questions do I have for tomorrow?
So we are going to ask you almost every day to write a little bit. And writing is really a powerful tool. When you write, it's sort of like having a debate with yourself. Because when you write, you're forced to really think about what you understand. And when you write, something special happens is that new questions come up as you write down the things you think you understand. You don't need to write beautiful poetry or long sentences. You can just write lists of ideas. You can draw pictures. Hopefully pictures related about this class. So really I want to re-encourage you to write down some of the big ideas that you've learned today, that you've thought about today. And as you go through this process, I think questions will also come up for you. Okay? So take another 30 seconds and write some more thoughts about your ideas about forces. Okay, so we're going to break for tea.